let's talk about James Maddison a bit. Me and you both wanted to see him in the squad. I think it's fully deserved. I think the stat that everyone's talking about is that since May of 2022, only Erling Haaland has contributed more goal contributions in the Premier League than James Maddison. So this was fully deserved. He's arguably the most informed number 10 in the league at the moment. Let me pull this up right now. And in fact, I think the biggest one is that, I just pulled it up. England doesn't actually play with a number 10, or they don't have a natural number 10 in their squad until now. So I think this is a huge, when you talk about X factor, I think Maddison provides that X factor that England have kind of been missing. He's in form. I'm happy with the inclusion.
I mean, I think Maddison is a no-brainer, bro. I tweeted and I said, I feel like, no matter what Southgate does, people are going to be angry, bro. They're going to either be happy. I mean, no one's going to agree with anything that he's saying, right? Anything that he does. He can pick everyone that we want. We're going to say, what about? When it comes to national team selection, so what about? So I think he's just got to block out the noise. Someone like Maddison, the reason why I tweeted, I think Maddison and Ben White, for me, are the only two players who done outstanding enough, in my opinion, that it's like, oh, wait, hold on. You can potentially start for England. That's my opinion. Ben White and Maddison have actual claim, in my opinion, that they can start. That's why I think if they didn't get included, it'll be outrage. I'm sorry. Tomori ain't starting for England, bro.
No.
I don't know why we're outraged, bro. Tony isn't starting. What's the outrage? Who else were people talking about? They were started bringing up like
Ward-Prowse I was hearing, bro.
Ward-Prowse and Tarkowski and all these, bro. They weren't playing, bro. Yeah. They're not gonna play. They're not even the ability, even on ability. Like Maddison on ability can start for England. So can Ben White, bro. These other names that we're saying, I'm sorry. I just think it's damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Can I say one thing as well, too, Cam? Right? I think people are kind of. I tweeted it out, right? It's 2022, and I still feel like people don't understand how international teams are picked. Club form, for me, differentiates the fringe players. Every single international team has a core of players that no matter what is happening in their club career, they will be selected. Harry Kane, for example, could go 50 games without scoring a goal. He is on the plane to Qatar because Gareth Southgate, for the last 4 years since he's been England manager, has been building his team around him. The same goes for Maguire. Like it or not, he's in that situation. So the club form for me is differentiated, for example, when you're looking at Callum Wilson or Tammy Abraham, because both of those guys were on the fringe of the list. That's when you kind of look at who's playing better for their club, and you prioritize that guy. In fact, that's even what Gareth Southgate said. Guys like Maguire, guys like John Stones, guys like Raheem Sterling, if you remember even last Euros, before the tournament, people were saying, should he be in the 11? Because he wasn't playing his best football for City. He was the player of the tournament, bro. He was player of the tournament. So there are certain players. It's not just England. You look at France. Olivier Giroud, he's balling out now. There was periods in time when he was at Arsenal and people were slating him at club level, but every single time, he's one of the first names on that list. Brazil, It's the same thing. Spain, it's the same thing. That's just the way it is, and people really just have to understand that. International managers are not going to prioritize club form over national team form. It's never going to happen.
Bro, Fred is going to start ahead of Bruno Guimaraes or whatever his name is at Bruno G for Newcastle. On form, who's better on form?
Bruno.
Obviously, Bruno G. But he's going to go and start, bro. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, the thing is, you're always going to have these trusted men. England have got to a semi-final and final. Now, I'm not saying that's amazing or anything like that, but he's going to go with set players. There is going to be some who have to be outstanding, like Maddison, like Ben White, who are going to finally just nick it in there. Do you know what I'm trying to say? However, overall, these men are not going to start, bro. They're not going to play. People were spending their hours arguing over subs. It doesn't make sense. Like, guys that are probably not going to pick. I said being second fiddle to Harry Kane is the equivalent of being second fiddle to Gigi Buffon, bro.
Yeah, it's true. You're spot on.
You're not playing. Callum Wilson. The option between Tony, Callum Wilson, who else is there? Tony, Callum Wilson, Tammy Abraham, right? 3 fringe players who are not going to play. Yeah. So he chose that one on form. He said, all right, cool. Your 3 of you not going to play. Who's on the hottest form at the moment? Go at the time of my pick. Newcastle are third place in the league. He said, all right, cool, I'm going to go with that one. So he went with that one. Perfectly fine. But other than that, everything else is going to be to the players that he's familiar with. Do you get where I'm coming from? That is just the
Absolutely.
way it is. The only one that I understand what people can complain about is Conor Gallagher, because he's not on good form and he's not a regular. What was he doesn't even play the style in any way that Gareth Southgate plays. So it's kind of like, what was the thinking behind that one? That's the only one that I understand if people are gonna kind of have outrage.
I would have said
But
Dyer too. Honestly, if people were so stuck up on Tomori, okay, fair enough. Dyer is the one I would have really heard. But the rest of them,
no, it's the fact that people are saying Tomori should have went over Maguire. Now I'm like, look, I
yeah,
am
that's
not Maguire's
ridiculous.
fan at all, but that is just agendas, bro.
Yeah.
How is he? He's not gonna go over Maguire,
The
man. Come
thing
on, man.
is, too, right? Even in Gareth Southgate's mind, that comparison was never made. I guarantee you, I promise you guys, there was not a single moment in Gareth Southgate's mind where he was debating between Eric Dyer or Harry Maguire. It was Eric Dyer and Ben White. It was Eric Dyer and Connor Cody. It was Eric Dyer and Tomori. And Tomori is unlucky to miss out to those three. Maguire's a shoe-in, man. Like it or not, he's a shoe-in.
That's the reality of the situation, bro. It's just the reality of it. So I think overall, though, it's not the greatest team. England are not really the greatest team, because you don't feel like they're going to be getting used in the way they want. You know what I mean? With the way we want. I feel like I know England's starting 11 already. You know what I mean? And it's definitely not the starting 11 that I want. But let's see what happens, man. It's even kind of it annoys me even seeing Foden, Grealish, and Maddison as forward options. Like, you just know they're all going to get stuck onto the wing. You just know they're all going to get thrown onto the wing with minimal opportunities. You know what I'm trying to say? So I don't see what formation he's even going to do to get a cater for a Maddison or anything. If Maddison gets 35 minutes at this World Cup, that's a successful tournament for him, bro, because he ain't playing.
No, 100%. Let me read this super chat real quick from Prem Prodigy. Thank you for the super chat, bro. He says, man, we're saying Ward Prowse with chest. Can anyone sit there with a straight face and say he's better than any of those midfielders? I'm with you, man. Like, what is James Ward-Prowse outside of set pieces providing to this England team that they must have? And that's even if he ever gets on the pitch. He'd never get on the pitch to provide that.
If you're only having to take a player because of set pieces, bro, this isn't rugby, bro. It's not Johnny Wilkinson, bro. You know what I mean? It's not here to just kick and all of that. You know what I mean? This isn't, you don't come and have a kicker. It's not like that. It's not the NFL. Do you know what I mean? People are saying you got to take him because of his set pieces. What, he's gonna come and take a set piece and what, we sub him off again or something? Or is this new rules in the game?
He's the kicker.
This is what I'm saying. This isn't the NFL, bro. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna lie, he can feel hard done by in a way. He plays regularly for Southampton. Conor Gallagher's in and out, blah 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 blah. And as I said, kind of Gallagher didn't get picked on experience. He didn't get picked on form. So I do get why someone like Ward-Prowse could be a bit like, hard done by, but. Nah, I'm not bringing him because he's good at set pieces. What does that mean, bro?
Yeah. No, I'm with you 100%. On the topic of James Maddison, I got a few more that I want to talk to you about, but James Maddison, just to kind of close this one off, I kind of think that Gareth Southgate got bullied into this decision. I think like he felt the pressure of basically.
How about Grealish last time, innit?
Yeah, it's a bit like that 100%. But I think Grealish, at the end of the day, you still saw him get a lot of opportunities during the Euros, right? Like he was one of the first players off the bench, and he actually made quite an impact when he did. I think Maddison, and like the fact that he has never called Maddison up, or he called him in 2019, and since then there's been nothing. I think a lot of this is down to media pushing it, the fans pushing it, probably players in his squad, in fact, probably pushing it as well. But I could definitely see in this tournament, bro, he doesn't play a single minute until we're down. Or I keep saying weird. I am not British, bro.
Bro,
y'all are corrupting me.
Yo, if you want to come to this side, just let us know. You know what I mean?
Hey, man, this is what I'm saying about Maddison, though, right?
You stay over there with Wesley McKinney and all the Weston McKinney and all that, man. Yeah,
Weston McKinney. Who? This is what I'll say about Maddison, though. Until England are down in like the game that they get eliminated in, that's when Southgate is going to bring him on for the last 10 minutes to kind of try and save the day. If he doesn't do anything, everyone will be like, "Oh, why did we bring him in the first place?" Yeah. Southgate will kind of have his excuse. But yeah, I could definitely see this being a tournament where Maddison doesn't play a lot. But personally, go ahead.
Southgate is weird like that because in a similar situation to Jack Grealish, when Grealish was literally on Player of the Year form, one of
Yeah.
the leading players in the Premier League, he was not calling him up, bro. He wasn't calling him up. Then he finally called him up. When Grealish went to City and hasn't blown any trees, he's one of the dead certs.
Yeah.
He's one of the dead certs. It's crazy. It's crazy. That is inconsistent from Southgate. And I guarantee you, if Maddison goes to a top 6 club this summer and doesn't do bits or whatever, he's just okay, he'll still be getting called up. He's gonna become one of the camp. Do you know what I mean? He's one of the camp. Oh, the fans love him. Oh, they've now built a relationship. They got a bond. That's just the way Southgate is, man. Do you know what I mean? He's just a bit of a random one. But yeah, man, with the World Cup, this is what somebody says here. DT guy says here, it's a lot of politics that go into
Of course.
these World Cup selections, man, as well. You know what I mean? So